Number 10. Exercise or sports. Believe it or not, there are actually people who are addicted to exercise. This is more of a mental illness than an addiction, but addiction is defined as a strong and harmful need to regularly have something, a dependency. It's a mental illness in the sense that an individual addicted to exercise feels they are no good without it. Exercise addiction is much related to anorexia, as many people with anorexia tend to constantly exercise to lose all the excess weight they believe they have. There are a few different types of exercise addictions, one linked with anorexia, as previously outlined, but also one that occurs after a binge eating session, as if you're punishing yourself for eating too much. One that many people who work out suffer from. They're not happy with their body, so they constantly push themselves to get their muscles as muscly as possible, leading to body-killing diet plans and extremely intensive and tough workouts to get their killer muscles, no pun intended. Number 9. Shopping. Being addicted to shopping is actually much more common than you'd think, especially in the modern world. People just like to buy stuff. It's that simple. Whether it be through buying useless junk through infomercials, constantly buying items on sale just because, well, they're on sale, or if you're a teenage girl that basically lives in the mall, all of these are considered a shopping addiction. This raises the question, why do people shop so impulsively? Studies have shown that the thrill a shopping addict gets when buying junk is proportionately similar to the high people get from doing drugs. From this, experts theorize that shopping addicts shop to cover up their sadness, much like people do drugs to push away their emotional distresses. Buying something new excites us, and some people just get addicted to that feeling of excitement. 8. Sugar. Being addicted to sugar is a norm for us humans, but many of us don't know we're addicted to it. An addiction is something the person cannot do without. The person experiences relapses and feels lost or confused without it. Well, for some people, sugar causes those relapses. Excess amounts of sugar in the diet of some people leads to the type of dependencies that cause horrible relapses, leading to nausea, headache, and many other placebo-based symptoms. This addiction, in comparison, is much more debilitating than others on this list due to the fact that it can lead to diabetes and other blood sugar-related diseases. Many people around the world have this addiction and don't even know it. The proof is the rising levels of obesity, particularly in North America, where sugar is used most per capita. 7. Anime. There's a difference between liking anime and really liking anime. If you own a body pillow with your waifu imprinted on it, you're probably addicted to anime and you need to cut down. I'm sure you've heard of the elusive weeboo. Well, those are the guys that are addicted to anime. Guys that would rather commit seppuku than socialize with people who don't watch anime. Some symptoms of being addicted to anime are neckboard syndrome, a body pillow that stands up on its own after years of usage, multiple katanas that you justified buying for protection, rejecting your own society for the society portrayed in anime. Now, I'll admit anime is pretty great, but everything must be used in moderation. If you don't use anything too much, you will get addicted to it and develop dependencies. 6. Music. Almost everyone in the world has that odd song stuck in their head at times, and maybe you'd say that sometimes you're addicted to a song that you just can't stop listening to. But you usually grow out of that song, and at one point or another, the song that's stuck in your head just goes away. Well, there are some people who are legitimately addicted to listening music. Now, when I say addicted, I mean their mind has developed a dependency on it. These people cannot function normally without a soundtrack going on in the background of their mind. No matter what they do, be it waking, talking, eating, or even sleeping, they must have a song playing. Obviously, a music addiction can lead to nasty side effects like constant headaches and, in more serious cases, permanent deafness. 5. Video games. One of the more common addictions on this list. The person afflicted by this addiction is so completely detached from reality that when they're pulled away from their MMORPG or their first-person shooter, they're unable to function on a basic human level. Video games tend to cause people to be a bit more socially inept than usual, which is normal, as video games make people more introverted than usual. For most addicts, the choice of staying at home playing CSGO instead of going out and chilling with some of the buds is an easy but socially destructive one. Video game addiction can lead to obesity, carpal tunnel syndrome, social ineptness, and depression, among other things. Fast food. The obesity problem in North America in a nutshell. There are millions of Americans that suffer from this addiction, even though most wouldn't call it that. Fast food addicts must get their daily fix of a cheeseburger and fries or that sausage biscuit in the morning. This is, without a doubt, the leading cause of obesity in the United States, with about 35% of adults in the country being overweight or obese due to direct abuse of fast food. The thing about fast food is that it's really appealing, and well, it's fast. There's really no effort involved in getting that Egg McMuffin in the morning or a quick cheeseburger while driving home. It's too accessible and easy to get, so when people are unable to get that fix, they can actually experience extreme withdrawal symptoms. The body is expecting an increase in cholesterol and carbohydrates at that exact time, and since it has formed a habit, when it doesn't get that fix, it goes down for the count, causing extreme headaches and fatigue. 3. Masturbation. Masturbation is a natural occurrence in the lives of humans. It's a method of de-stressing and a great way to get things off your chest, well, and from out between your legs. But whacking the meat does come with its own dangers, like getting completely addicted to choking the snake. You might be asking, how do people get addicted to something as trivial as pulling the pole? Well, the same way that everyone gets addicted to something. It's their only source of dopamine, or the happy chemical. When you finish slapping the salami, your brain releases multiple chemicals, one of them being dopamine, which gives you that sense of euphoria. Well, people get addicted to that exact euphoric finish to their lessons. They can form a physical need for self-release. When denied this release, the body can go through depressive spells, an inability to sleep, and an extremely raised sex drive. Among those other negative effects, it can also cause problems with your social life and asymmetry in your arms. 2. Power. Being in control is human nature, and being in control of a situation is when humans shine the brightest. But sometimes you can get addicted to that control. This leads to the next point, being addicted to power. Some people just can't take not being in control of a situation, leading them to make sure they are always in control. That's when they start their pursuit for power. A power addiction leads to corruption, depression, decreased self-awareness, and douchebag syndrome. Many of the top players in this game of life are all power-hungry monsters, which is really what has led them to the spot they're in now. It's really what has plagued humanity for such a long time. Power addiction is what leads to corruption, and as media has showcased time and time again, if an average Joe gets put in a place of power, it will definitely corrupt their mind. 1. Social media. From Facebookers to Instagrammers to tweeters, millions of people around the world suffer from the addiction that is social media. Social media is a monster that takes over the lives of all kinds of people, especially celebrities. They must keep updating their statuses and tweeting to stay relevant in some way, and this is exactly what leads to addiction. It's about seeking approval from the people in your circles, basically approving what you think through other people's likes, shares, and retweets. Some symptoms of social media addiction are as follows: constantly checking your device for notifications, spending hours at a time on your device, and preferring to socialize on social media rather than in real life. Social media addictions can lead to decreased self-awareness, headaches, and in an odd twist, lowered social skills. Studies have shown that people that spend 4+ hours a day on any social media platform tend to have lowered cognitive aptitude and a lot less interpersonal connections, and of course, any of the withdrawal symptoms that become apparent after the social media is stripped from them.